This is Street Studios Tech Bridge, where we together work on our technical know-how and productivity. Today, we're going to look at Python, another data type, another way. Today, we're going to look at another way to manipulate data within Python. We've looked at lists before. Today, we're going to look at dictionaries. And in particular with dictionaries, what you really want to think of is key pair, right? And so when you open up a dictionary, you see the word and then the meaning of the word. And so if you keep that in mind, this is going to be very similar. We're gonna have one side that's going to have the key, and the other side that's going to have the key value, right? And so they are together. So let's get into it. Let's check it out. Okay, so we're looking at, so let me back up. So the first thing that I've done is I've created a file. This particular file is going to be called TechBridge03. I have put a comment at the top to talk about creating a dictionary, okay? And as I've already mentioned, the thing that we need to do is, the first thing we want to do is create the dictionary. The next thing that we want to do is we want to input information into the dictionary. And so I'm just writing a comment to make a note of this. This is what I want to do. The other thing we want to do is, let's say we want to pull values. So what's the statements to do that? To pull specific key, pull data out. All right. And then the last thing we want to do is we probably want to be able to add and delete. To our dictionary. Okay, so I think that'll be enough, just doing those things. All right, so let's go back up to creating a dictionary. Creating a dictionary is pretty simple. I'll just show you one way. Understand that there's other notation out there, but this is the one that we'll use today. Top 10 MBA equals curly brackets. All right, so that's all we need in order to create a dictionary. If you remember, with lists, you use the square brackets. With dictionaries, especially if you're initializing an empty one, that's what you do. Well, that's one of the things that you can do. But I'm going to go ahead and fill this with data, right? And so I'm going to update. I'm going to update my comment and get rid of the input, because I'm going to go ahead and put the data into the dictionary to begin with. All right, so I had already pulled the data, and let's clean it up just a little bit, and let's discuss. All right, so what I did is we chose some of the top NBA players currently playing, And if you notice, and I did a couple of things. I didn't put, so dictionaries are key driven. On the left is the key. On the right is the value. In this particular instance, the key is going to be a number, but the key doesn't have to be the number. The key could potentially be a string, just like any other thing, right? What you need to remember, though, is the key part is on the left and the value part's on the right. It's separated by a semicolon, and I could have very easily had the key be numbers, but have them be strings. But I figured since they were numbers, I'll go ahead and leave them as numbers. The other thing is that with dictionaries, the order doesn't matter. It doesn't, right? Because it's a dictionary, it's the keys that are driving this thing. All right, so now so I believe that's correct. Let's try to pull some data out and see how that works. Okay, so let's do the printing one value first. How that looks is what you see right here. Print top NBA bracket. And so in this case, I'm going to print the value for the key 6. All right. So let's pop over and see how that looks. All right. So now what we want to do is we want to print the whole dictionary. And there's a couple of different ways to do that, but the way that I'll do it this time is for key in top 10 NBA print, and I want to print the key, and I want to use the same syntax that we got up there. Top 10 NBA, but this time I want to call the key, right? So what it should do, it should loop through the values and the keys and print them as it goes through the dictionary. All right, so let's pop over and see how that looks, those two things together. All right, so we're at the terminal. We're in the same folder that the file is in. In order to access the file, Python 3 for me. If you don't have an older version of Python, just Python should work for you. And then the name of the file, techbridge03.py. And let's see what we have. All right, so what happens is the first thing that we print is the value. Remember, we printed the value for just the key 6. So you see Steph at the top. And then what you see is you see the loop that we just went through to get the whole dictionary. And it's the remember key, and then it's the value. And it follows on down, all of the pieces. The last thing that I want to do is I want to show you how to add and then delete a specific. And again, all of this is going to be based on the key. All right, so let's pop back over to the other, to the atom and see how to do those two things. All right, so to add, what you need to do is you need to type in the name of the dictionary that you want to add to. Then you want to put in the key. So we'll put this at position 12. and then we'll put in the value. So who's the person that we want to, so let's put in Jimmy. Let's get Jimmy in there, okay? And then what we want to do is we want to delete as well. And so let's type in DEL for delete, top 10 NBA, and then let's do this. All right. And then we should probably print the whole list. We should print the whole thing out. And I think, all right, so let's pop over and see what that looks like. So I've done 3 things. I've added Jimmy Butler to the list with the key of 12. I've deleted the key 11, which is Paul George. And then I've printed the list out again. All right, so what you see is you see the first list right here. Then you see where I made the print statement just to denote this is the second list. And then you also notice that Paul George is gone from the key of 11, and Jimmy Butler is added the key of 12. So again, dictionaries are really, really powerful, and they can do quite a bit to help you to manipulate data in any type of language. These are the basics that we have to get done. We have to be able to manipulate data. We have to be able to retrieve the data, and we have to be able to edit the data. And there are multiple ways to do it in multiple different languages. But in Python, lists and dictionaries are usually your go-to as it relates to working with data. Thanks so much for tuning in. I will see you soon.